All right, so here's the lesson of the day. And I want to tell you that if you were to look at ads for banjo back in the 20s and 30s, you'd see something like a well-dressed young man holding a banjo, and it would say something like, become more popular, earn money, learn to play the banjo. You know, people will become your friends. So if that's true, what you're about to learn today should get you at least 4 new friends, okay? And it's called pentatonics, okay? Pentatonic, you've heard of that. And when people have talked about certain things like scales, I always have gotten lost and kind of ignored them. And if you get advanced, you know, if you're playing, you know, 5, 10 years and you're in a band, at that point you really should know your scales and stuff. But for what we're going to do today, we'll just take a piece of it. And pentatonic, of course, means 5. So in the key of G, and you can ignore these notes. You don't have to know these notes, but basically it goes G, B flat, C, D, F. So G. That's the pentatonic scale. And let me see if I can lower that a little bit so maybe you can see a little better. Okay, so here's the 1-finger method to play out a G minor pentatonic. Now, what that means is if you're in the key of G, you can play these 5 notes when somebody's playing anything in any chord in the key of G. So they can play a C, a G, a D, A minor, E minor. And you don't have to switch anything. You just play these 5 notes. The G, B flat, C, D, F. Okay. And you don't even have to know the names of these notes. Once you see this very clever thing, which is, I say, is guaranteed to bring you at least 4 new friends. All right, so now we take the index finger and we note the C, okay? All right? 2nd string, 1st fret, okay? Now, if we think about the notes of the pentatonic scale, G's in it, D is in it, F is in it, G, B flat, C, D, D, F. Okay. I mean, so all these notes, which is when you note the 1st string, or 2nd string, 1st fret, those 4 notes are on the pentatonic scale. And also, if you note all the notes in the 3rd fret, those are also on the pentatonic scale. Okay? What is not on the pentatonic scale is that note, which is a B. So what we do is we cover that B by making it a C, okay? So you just hold your finger right there. And then you can play any note you can reach. So if you're doing single string, or let's do it more practically. So if I do a roll, okay, that's, I'm going to do 5, 2, 1. Or I can put this down and do 5, 2, or I can make the D. Okay, so that's, or I can move up to the 3rd string and note the 3rd string, 3rd fret. So go. So I can go. So I go. See what I'm doing? So we're doing a roll. 5, 3, 1, then 5. Okay, so let's try that again. So I'm going roll. Okay, so we can do a forward and backward roll with the hammer on. See if you can catch that. Now, if you want to really get into these pentatonics, you can go to banjocompass.com, and I have a 6-lesson package which really covers all this in detail. It gives you licks and stuff. And I'm not going to teach these licks right now, but stuff like... Okay, and then it goes in... And the pentatonics, when you play them in a break, create a lot of attention. So it's kind of like if you put too much sugar in your pie, it doesn't taste good. Or if you put too much salt on your food, you know, it doesn't taste good. But if you do just the right amount of salt, it tastes wonderful. So some of the things you can do just with this simple thing, and so that you don't feel that you're being let in and forced to buy this pentatonic thing. Let me just show you a couple licks here. So I'm going to do a hammer-on, so 5. So then we do the... See if you can figure that out. So 5, 2, 1. Then we're going to do 5, 1. So it's 5, 2, 1. Then we play 5, 1, 2, 3. Okay, do it again. So 5, 2, 1. Okay, let's do it again. Then 5, 1, and then we do 5, 2, 1, forward and back. 5, 1, 2, 3, open. Sorry about it. Okay. Hopefully you got that. So, but you can do... So if I was doing Pretty Polly, okay, so I almost hate to say this because people show you something, they say experiment with it, but just try playing some forward and backward rolls and hitting different notes, or can you see that? So that's the first roll. The second one is, and the third one is. So hopefully that, and then if you do want to get more information and get the package and go to Banjo Compass, that's fine. But I did want to just show you that simple thing with the one finger and noting these notes right here. And you can play, as long as you're in the key of G, the guitar player can be changing all kind of chords, and it'll work. You can play just those notes. You don't have to switch or anything. So if I was doing Blue Ridge Cabin Home, and I don't know how well this is going to work, but I could play it like this. If I had a guitar and was playing those chords, it would actually work really well. So that is what I'm going to call the quick minor pentatonic lesson.